Welcome to the Camel Cast Lost episode. This was recorded and cut from episode 4, Dick and Hadar 1. In this segment the Camels talk about character philosophy for Divinity, Original Sin 2, as well as usual RPG characters. The song in the background is another one from Brandon titled Snitchin' in the Kitchen. Please ignore I stole this intro format from Sleepy Cabin Lost episodes. You should watch those when you get a chance. By the way, we should be recording again this week. Until then, enjoy the audio.
So the question I wanted to ask real quick before we roll into news is just from a character perspective, what is everyone's OC in Divinity 2? I'm curious as to what your guys' design philosophy is. I'll start.
My OC?
What do you mean
like
by
my
OC?
Character?
Yeah, your own character.
What's my character?
What else would it be?
My own character?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because what I did is I like being a tanky boy. So I started, and we don't have to go into your entire evolution, but is human. I'm one of those weird people. I like picking human when there's like crazy choices because I like having kind of like
crazy choices.
There's undead for everything, and like lizard people, and the elves are cannibals, so it's not like your standard elves, you know. And there's a lot of crazy things. But anyway, I like playing human in games. I don't know why, I just do. And I went necromancer warfare, I think it is. And yeah,
It's very strong.
Big old two-hander boy.
Strong build.
Walk into the combat and then get constantly healed by my own murder. Makes me last longer, and then you get a lot of fun sustainability spells too. I knew that game was good the second it was like, you can be a cleric who has healing and combat, and I just saw necromancy as the tag, and I was like, yeah, okay, cool,
Nice.
This game's cool. And that was my guy. Go ahead.
Well, because I'm playing Ifin, my first original character was just the one I've been playing with Rob. And I knew I picked my build obviously before starting. I was like, I want to be a thief. I want to be a rogue, an assassin. So I picked the dwarf just because the +1 sneaking. I was like kind of like thinking about like an elf because the flesh sacrifice. They do get flesh sacrifice, right? Or is that a Sibyl only thing?
It's
It's an elf thing. Because that's really strong, especially with like adrenaline. Also, just the undead, because that would have been cool. But I was like, nah, I'll get the +1 sneaking. Like, the dwarf had a mohawk, and I was like, oh yeah, I can get an eye patch and a mohawk. And I was like, yeah, I can see this. And fun as hell. I like it. Mostly warfare, scoundrel, a lot of crit. You switch between a bow and daggers, and the bow gets kind of nuts.
Ooh.
Like, yeah.
Does it? Because I always told myself, which I'm probably not gonna. I don't know if I'm gonna play the game again when I'm done with it the first time right away. But if I do, I kind of wanted to play like a ranger. So is
The bow
it
gets
viable?
nuts. Yes.
Okay.
Very
I
viable.
know. Playing through the
Very
game, sometimes archers are just fucks to me.
Yeah.
Very viable.
I just wasn't sure if making a
Like,
ranger was like super good or not.
You like the build, my build, like it's scoundrel and like huntsman. I use like warfare, but I don't use any warfare skill. It's just
right,
for
you
the
just
damage.
take it for
Right,
fucking
yeah.
passive because it's very good.
And it's so mobile. Like you get tactical retreat from huntsman. I think one of the best moves in the entire game. It's just 1 AP. You land wherever you fucking want. It's like hasted. The backlash. It's like a fucking. You gotta have the daggers equipped, but like the backstab, and it's like a mini
Yeah, it's
teleport.
free.
Cloak. Yeah, it's 1 AP. Cloak and dagger. 1 AP. You just move wherever you fucking want. It doesn't break stealth either. It's just an incredibly mobile, high damage build. Like high damage. Like literally every hit's a crit.
Nice.
And if you have like elevation on people, and you get the increased range, one of the huntsman moves is the ballistic shot, I think it is.
I think it is.
And it does more damage based on range away, and you get the more damage because your elevation, and you're critting because your crit is insane. It's just so much damage. And you do that with like talents like Far Out Man to increase your range, Executioner just for the extra AP, Hothead for the extra crit and shit, and it's just so much damage. I love it. It's fun. And on top of that, you go around and you steal people's stuff from their pockets. And when they catch you, you just murder them and steal their stuff anyway.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
I play an elf. That is a mage focused on nuking with a little bit of polymorph. So I'm just like Pyro and Aerothurge. I typically, like, whenever I play an RPG, I said this to you last time we were in this conversation, off podcast, obviously.
Polymorph, not to interrupt you, but Polymorph is fucked up good.
Yeah, I only took it
kind of insane.
I only took it because my plan is I want to put the points I need into it just to get, because I get free attribute points when I do it, so I was like, oh, that's cool. And I'm just trying to get myself ready for Flame Skin so that I can use Supernova and not kill myself. And just murder everything else whilst healing because my fire resistance will be so high. So that's kind of my game plan. Usually when I play these games, I always play like Dex characters on my first playthrough, and I made it like always. But I made it to the character select screen in this game, and for some reason I was looking at all the classes and shit, and I was like, I just want to try something new. So I made a mage, because I literally never do that on my first playthrough of anything.
Magic's very strong. I remember saying this to you. I honestly feel like Magic's maybe a little too strong in Divinity. I feel like even all the martial classes use Magic to a point, but that's kind of just like the beauty of the system.
Like,
of it.
Yeah, it's like 4th edition. But it's like, yeah, you're using goddamn Magic.
Like I'm playing a martial class, and it's very strong. But I feel like the caster classes can get even more retarded.
They are very good.
It has its own interesting built-in symmetry.
Like when we were in that situation, when we were surrounded by all those guys, we were like, yeah, I can murder someone really fast.
Oh yeah, I'm a very big single target damage, not AoE damage.
I'm a big AoE. Let's murder a bunch of people at once, and if I can't murder them, they're going to be really low.
Pyro gets kind of insane at that. As you up your int and you up your pyro and shit, like you start chunking many people at once with like a single fireball for a lot of damage, and it starts getting a little fucking insane. It's fun.
It's also
I like it.
I always feel like the game was leaned more towards mages just by the way that their weird armor system works with regular armor and magic armor, because even like high magic armor dudes do not have near the armor of high armor dudes. Whereas, physical damage never gets as high as if you like do the perfect combo of like, okay, you're oiled and now you're fired and now you're cursed and stuff like that.
If you have someone to set up like surfaces for you and shit like that, like you have your nuker mage and then you have like your setup mage, and the fucking damage is intense if you pull that off properly. But yeah, so that's my character basically. And I'm a barbarian mystic.
Ooh.
Because I was like,
you son of a bitch! I thought that setup.
I think it would be dope to be like a weird forest witch mage that was an elf living with barbarians and shit. And I was like, barbarian mystic.
I played a soldier outlaw because my guy's kind of a dickhead who wants to steal, so he was in the military, and then he got dishonorably discharged because he's a fuck.
I was
thought of a whole backstory
started stealing from people.
Fucking nerd.
I was soldier in something else. I honestly can't remember what the other one was. It wasn't Lore Master. I can't remember. Whatever.
Lore Master is in the background. It's a civic.
Oh, whatever.
I was also a barbarian mystic, but I played a lizard folk. Big shocker. I like these.
Getting porked.
Hashtag pork.
Hashtag pork
I like
them up.
the aesthetic, like the look and the design that the females get.
Oh yeah, they have those giant necks.
They have the giant necks and the frills. They basically got like a cobra comb they can get. So I just did that like in a black and red.
You got to work to make male lizard people look good too in that game.
Yeah.
I don't think they look that good. I don't think they look that good.
Work? I think the Red Prince looks okay.
He looks alright.
I've seen NPC lizard, like male lizard folk, that look fine.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just like the aesthetic of the females more.
I never looked at a male lizard folk and I was like, wow, what an ugly fuck.
I think it's mainly, it's like, I feel like their neck is too upright for how short it is.
Can you play? I can't remember. Can you? Sorry, not to cut you off, but can you play as an undead lizard folk?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they look doofy.
Do
a
they?
little bit.
In my opinion,
They
look
got
doofy.
big sockets out of their and
Well, they are lizards.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just the Red
Looks
Prince
a little
face. I don't know. It just seems really like.
It's not the face.
It's like
for me.
blunt. It's like not pointy, and the way it's shaped, it just looks weird to me. It's just my opinion.
But anyway, I do a spear pyro mancer basically. I use a spear, so I use a lot of finesse and I use the skills in Pyro that don't require intelligence, but just stack off your Pyro. So I use things like Clear Mind, Ignition.
The buff spells and the basic shit.
I use Fire Traps, stuff like that.
Bleed Fire.
Bleed Fire, stuff like that. And I dip into like little things like Arrow and Huntsman so I can do like mixes. So it's a lot of buffing, a lot of I'm all over the place, a lot of if I need to deal a bunch of damage, I have mass traps I just throw out 4 at a time and it just deals a lot of fucking damage.
Alrighty.
Neat. I was just curious about that because it's always neat to like see what a person's take is on character, especially if it's something like that where there's just so many goddamn options.
I also chose a spear over like a staff and stuff because I love the. I could have just gone with like my same build instead of just putting everything with finesse, go intelligence, and just pick up all the pyro stuff as normal and still kind of do it. I like the fact that spears are like a melee weapon that go up with finesse, and I can still kind of be in combat and just swing through.
Like I said, Divinity 2 is weird for me because it's not super indicative of what I usually do. Like I almost all like Souls games, any other RPG I've ever played, like I do dex builds.
Yes.
Always the first time. But for some reason I was just looking at that character select screen and I was like, the magic stuff looked cool as I was reading it, and
it's
I was
very fun. The magic, I think it's done well.
And I just wanted to do something different, so I tried it, and I don't really regret it. I like it. It's fun.
I'm a big fan of air magic. The arrow magic.
Yeah, arrow thirds
really
is fun.
Good.
Yeah.
I like pyro a lot.
Yeah, pyro's
I don't think
fantastic.
there's any school of
even the water magic's cool.
I think it's a little weird. My only complaint with the magic and divinity is that I wish it's not like they don't have offensive options like the hydro and the geomancy stuff, but I wish they had a little bit more. It feels like the main thing and everything I've ever read when I did finally start looking up stuff about builds and shit is most people just use geomancy and the water shit for like supportive stuff. It's like you have a mage who's like geomancy, hydro, and the whole reason they're on the team is to just like set up surfaces for the other mage, which is like pyro, arrow, and shit like that, and like actually utilizing them for damage. And then you get like the spells that give armor and like magic armor and like shit like that. Most people don't like, you don't go geo and start doing like damage with geo. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's weird. I wish it had more like offensive options in the other two schools. So you could make like a geomancy that was like based on nuking, but in its own weird way. Like if you could like poison more with geomancy and shit like that.
I haven't looked at geomancy, but with the stuff we've been doing, but there's a few mods that we looked at that just expand.
Yeah, it's mods.
Yeah, it's
Modding community is kind of insane for that game.
I actually haven't looked at them.
It's so many mods, and because I think it's because they wanted the mods to be like insane in that game, mainly for like game master mode and shit like that. They literally do anything. It's like anything. Like,
and that's why you have the gift bags. Those are the mods that the game designers looked at and was like, yes, that should be in the game. You can add it. And
is that what the gift bag is? Is it they took mods?
Yeah, they
and
took
made them
things
like
from
official?
the mod community and they were like, it's official content now.
I did not know that.
personally,
Yeah.
I only used the one, which is just.
I haven't looked at the gift
I only
bag
use
at all.
one, and the one is just the mirror respec in Fort Joy. I don't use anything else.
Yeah, I didn't even turn that shit on. I just assumed that the gift bag on my first run was like shit that you and me talked about this, but I assumed it was just stuff I should use.
I didn't even
later.
know. I didn't even know it existed until like I looked it up because I kept hearing about it.
I knew
but
it
I'm like, I
existed.
didn't get no gift bag.
I just didn't fuck with any of it, and then you told me about the mirror in Fort Joy. I still haven't turned that on. I don't really want to at this point, but like.
It's not really necessary, but
No,
I
it's
mean, I
not
like it.
because
It's just
I'm doing
extra
perfectly
fun
fine
stuff.
without it.
It just lets me
Still.
pick my build sooner for like my party.
Basically.
Anyway, should we fucking move on to news here?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Instead of
that's
talking about
about the time.
Divinity.
All right.
We should all play that, by the way.
Yeah, we should do.
How many people can you
all of us.
multiplayer with?
Four.
Oh, really? You
Yeah.
can do a whole
Party of
party?
four.
Whole
That's
party of four.
hilarious. That's
Camels.
hilarious
Party
and dumb.
Camel. We start up our successful Let's Play channel and
That's-
at Divinity.
Well, I could. I'm totally not against recording that stuff, and then like if we ever have a bye week, throw something out. Anyway,
That's up to you, friend.